Limited time. T-shirts will be shipped out first thing in December to anyone who pledges or is already pledged $10 or more to patreon.com/SayGoodnightKev. They also should be available at some point pretty soon in the online store, but then they're gonna be like $15 plus shipping and handling, so it's cheaper just to pledge. Also, after you pledge, hop over to John Castellano's Patreon and support his work because he is the amazing artist behind the hilarious design. Now, on to the review. All right, everybody, it is time to get serious, don't you think? I kind of feel like the last few videos we've just been toying around. Mere child's play. Not the movie Child's Play. I mean, Hangman's Curse, Unwanted Presents, are those really Christian scary movies? They're basically just PSAs uncleverly disguised as Christian horror movies. No, guys, it is time to pull out the big guns. I'm gonna give you guys an October you'll never forget. We'll end this one off right. Let's do this. All right, so it's true what I said before the intro played. Today, I'm actually looking at a movie that people have asked me to check out. They've said, hey, Kevin, you know how you watch these dumb, scary Christian movies? Well, here's one that actually is kind of good. It is Ted Dekker's Thr3e. Right here, he's not the director of this. It's just based on his book. The director is Robbie Henson, who I've not heard of, but apparently he directs a lot of Ted Dekker type movies. But it's actually produced by Ralph Winter, who is from the X-Men franchise. It says so right there on the top. So he's the producer of this movie. Who knows what that means? It could mean a lot. It could mean nothing. At least that means that somebody who's actually seen a good movie before is involved. Ted Dekker, from what I understand, he is one of the better Christian thriller authors. He strives to write like good books and not just like, oh, pretty good for a Christian movie. So a lot of stars are lining up here is what I'm trying to say. Could this be the greatest Christian horror film of all time? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to jump right into it. So grab your candy and let's get ready for my review of Thr3e. You get it, the joke, because of like, it's not funny anymore. Let's get on with the review. Now, I just want to say, I have not read the book, because I have a tendency, if I read the book, to not like the movie. Also, I will say that while I do have to watch these movies quite a few times whenever I'm putting together one of these reviews, I knew that the movie had a twist, so most of my comments that I make here are comments that I wrote down during the first viewing. So don't be like, Kevin, we know that you already know the ending because you had to watch it several times. So we jump right into a really suspenseful moment. This lady is on the phone.
Where's Roy?
Where's Waldo? She's running through the streets, and it seems like she's on the phone with some sort of Jigsaw type character.
I wasn't writing about you.
Society doesn't notice him because he's invisible.
Turns out she's some kind of author or something, from what I can understand from the crazy guy.
If you're angry at what I wrote, let's talk, but leave Roy out of it.
I will say right off the bat, right here, it does kind of feel a little hokey, maybe a little cheesy. I'm not saying it's like Christian bad, but it does feel a little TV-like. Like this is the beginning scene of an NCIS episode or something, and this is the part at the beginning where we see the person gets killed and it sets up the crime scene that we're gonna investigate throughout the episode. Feels a little bit like that, but you know, I'm not gonna judge it right away off of that. Let's get into it and see what's about to happen. Because I am a little intrigued to find out how she's gonna get the answers to this puzzle.
The answer is right in front of you.
Oh, well, that wasn't so hard.
I'm a cop.
She's a cop? I'm sorry, I don't know where I picked up that I thought she was an author. Maybe she just likes books. Maybe this isn't at all where this is going, but I was thinking it would be kind of cool if she was an author and there was this crazy guy on the phone who, for some reason, he thought that he was one of the characters in the book. Kind of a Misery or Stranger Than Fiction type situation. So he's like, I'm the character in the book and you're trying to do this thing and you can't let that happen. That seems like a really cool premise, but maybe that's not what we're getting here. So she goes up to this hot dog stand and lets him know.
I'm looking for anything about my brother.
Oh, anything about your brother? Well, I have that right here.
Some guy brought this by for you. He said you'd understand.
So the book gives her a raging clue, which leads her to smash this window because that's where her brother is.
You're a bad cop and you wrote a bad book.
Oh, so she is a cop and she's an author. Now I understand. A little confusing here at the beginning, but again, giving it the benefit of the doubt.
You don't know how it feels to kill. I'm gonna give you deeper insight.
Did he script out his lines?
One door is wired to explode, and one is not.
Really fascinating, interesting premise. I kind of wish we had gotten to see the story leading up to this, in fact. Perhaps that means that the rest of the movie is gonna be that much better and even more intriguing than what's happening right here.
You can save your brother, or kill him trying.
Use the chair that you used to get into the building.
Which door would the killer in your book pick?
Just open up one of the doors. Just try one of them. He said one of them won't, but alas, she doesn't open up one of the doors. and there's an explosion that, I guess, kills both of them. Wow, I really got to know those characters so well. Now we know at least that this bad guy is for real. He's willing to kill cops. Told you guys we're getting serious. This isn't child's play around here. So now we cut over to a seminary class or something?
St. Augustine believed that evil was beyond the reach of no man.
So did Freud.
Oh, hey, look, it's Kevin Downes. That is the co-founder of Christian cinema. You might also remember him from another movie that I reviewed. He was the other cop in the movie Courageous. However, here he plays this apparent 35-year-old high school jock who I guess snuck into this doctorate program.
Who once said, evil is the blemish of our species that will not spare even the best man?
Kermit the Frog.
Kant.
Very good.
Clearly you're a very smart character because you answered that one question. All right, so this is our main character, our hero of the story, who is apparently really smart.
Hey, genius. Nice call on Kant.
Whoa, did he just say the C word?
Take a day off. Get out into the fresh air while you still can.
So our main character hops into the car, but then he gets a phone call from the Jigsaw ripoff that we heard earlier in the
You
movie.
have 3 minutes to confess your sin before I blow your car up.
Here's the thing, I know that this book came out before the movie Saw, but I can't help but kind of make comparisons with it. It's not like this is completely original. I mean, there's the Riddler, the guy from Speed, the phone booth. So, I mean, I don't know. I know that I often say, like, hey, if you're a Christian movie maker, go with something that has worked. So props for that. However, you don't want to make it a hodgepodge of stuff that we've seen before, just not done as well. And that kind of feels like what's going on so far.
Who is this?
Don't you remember me, Kevin? You're passing into the harbor tunnel.
All right, so this guy, he's being told on the phone that there's a bomb in his car, and so he's got to get out of there, crashes his car into this pile of garbage, he runs out, ducks behind the car, and nothing happens. What an idiot. But then, confess. Kaboom!
Don't you remember me, Kevin? Liar.
You were lying when you said you didn't have to go to the bathroom. Clearly, you're doing the potty dance. Then we hop over to Kevin being questioned by the police.
I thought he had the wrong person. Then he said my name.
Kevin, we didn't find a cell phone. Maybe it burned up in the blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess probably not, since
So we
you
called
said
you some
it
names.
in this movie.
You heard of RK, right?
Reliant K?
The Riddle Killer. He must have been living in a box not to have. RK's been making all the press.
And why would someone like this come after me?
Have you done anything to, call attention to yourself? Made any enemies?
Well, I am Batman. You don't think that has anything to do with this, do you? Wait, so she survived the explosion at the beginning? Okay, right, great. An explosion that's so big that it killed her brother, but not big enough to kill her or even hurt her in any way other than having a little bandage on her arm. How do you expect me to believe in your message if your movie's not even believable?
Who is he?
It's Kevin Parson, seminary student.
He's Christian!
Both parents died in a car accident, raised by his aunt. Lives off his parents' life insurance. And he's working on his PhD in theology.
A professional student.
So now that RK has struck again, our female cop author girl declares to us through her whisperings that she is on the case.
He may come after you again.
But don't worry about me.
I'm a strong, independent woman. All right, well, I guess we've now set up the bad guy, and we've also got some motivation for the good guy. I mean, her brother was killed by this bad guy. Now we've got our main character. She could be the cop who just is gonna stop at nothing to put him behind bars. All we need now is for the protagonist to mug for the camera and give a cheesy one-liner, and go.
The question we should be asking is, why is Kevin Parsons still alive?
What? And yeah, we're just gonna assume that he didn't plant the bomb himself. You know, I mean, a dude drives up to a building and jumps out as if there's gonna be an explosion. There's multiple witnesses who see him do it, and then an explosion happens, and that's not suspicious to us as cops at all. We're just gonna assume he's the good guy.
Wow. That's a lot of bucks.
That's a lot of fish.
All right, so our main character, Kevin, is put into some sort of witness protection program because they wanna catch RK.
Here we are. It's, alarm beeper.
Just press the button.
Now, I'm pretty sure that's just a guitar tuner.
And it also has a tracking device on it.
Oh yeah, it does hologram projections too and stuff. Yeah. Later, at his house, he notices something strange. It's the new Christian OtterBox. It's basically the same thing as the secular OtterBox. It's not quite as good, not quite as useful. No, it turns out on the phone, it's his old buddy, the bad guy.
No police.
Who are you?
Who are you, Kevin?
That's a great question.
You still the lonely boy in a blue house, taking comfort from your pain with a black puppy?
Not really, I'm a grown man now and I live in an apartment. So as the bad guy is letting Kevin know that he knows about his childhood, Kevin gets a phone call from a friend named Sam.
Kevin, it's Sam.
A female
I
friend.
want to make sure you're okay. I'm gonna come over.
You swore that you would never go back there.
What's with this creepy poster behind him? It just doesn't seem like the type of thing that would be in this otherwise hip, cool, chic apartment.
Why are you doing this?
Would you go back to save Damon?
Wait,
You have 60
Damon.
minutes to save a life.
No, not the dog!
But no police. That's my #1 rule.
Don't make me break my one rule. What the? Why do I have this painting? So the bad guy guilts him into going to the house, which he promised apparently that he would never go back to. Here we meet some interesting characters.
Hey, Bobby. I have a new computer. You want to see it? Hey, I'm gonna go say hi to Damon, okay?
Okay, so things start to get a little weird.
Where'd you go?
Shut the door!
I think this is like an orphanage for mentally handicapped people, if that's the correct PC word. And Kevin grew up there. But who he really cares about is the dog.
Kevin, is that you, old boy?
Hey, Eugene.
Damon, do not play with strangers. Poison.
At this point, things just start getting weirder
in your house. You have to growl around that dog. You have to use
and
more
weirder
Oh, say that, canine. Be more English.
and weirder.
Put him in the house.
Very good.
I have a new computer.
Until we're pushed to a breaking point and... Well, that's really sad.
What did I do? Why didn't you? You did this. Why, to hurt me again, huh?
Someone's trying to kill me.
Shut your lying, filthy mouth.
Okie doke. After all that weirdness, Kevin goes back to his apartment where he gets a visit from his friend Sam.
You look good.
You must be some kind of actor or something.
There's some dirt on your face.
You got some hot dog on your face.
You okay?
Oh, Sam, someone's stalking me.
I'm not leaving.
They blew up my car. They killed Damon. I just don't want you near this.
Look, I'm near criminals every single day.
She's near criminals every single day? What does she do?
I should probably check into a motel.
Just stay here.
What? Wait. No, but he's supposed to be a Christian.
I'll stay on the couch.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna need your spoon so I can get a control sample and exclude your prints.
Did you say you're going to need to spoon?
Staying here probably wouldn't be the best idea.
Why?
Oh, because you're so hot and tempting. I could never resist you.
Hey, we can't talk to the police.
Okay, but we might have to.
Okay, but I just said we can't. Okay, but I will. I feel like you don't know what the word okay means. So as they hug, we get a little flashback, so we learn their backstory.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Sam.
And in this flashback, I can't for the life of me figure out why they decided to cast a kid who clearly doesn't speak English. He sounds like Tommy Wiseau.
We could take the bus together. I know, but my mom likes teaching me. So, do you have a boyfriend at school?
Anyway, how is your sex life?
Come closer and I'll tell you.
Wow, that was some hug. Meanwhile, Kevin's doctorate in theology classmate is coming out of the club. But before he can get into his car, he's kidnapped. Day 2. Day 2 from what? I don't think we ever got a day 1. Doesn't matter. Now Kevin meets with the police author girl.
Is this the only way in and out?
There's a fire escape. Close to your brother?
Yeah.
We're practically brothers.
Who was the visitor?
Someone I grew up with. She saw what happened to me in the news. She's an insurance investigator.
Oh, and she came by to check your life insurance?
She's a friend.
That's right, kids. Remember, friends don't check friends' life insurance.
He left a cell phone and a book.
What did he say?
He just called me names again.
Well, can you show me the book?
Sam has it.
Do you know who we're dealing with? From now on, make sure I see everything first.
Okay.
Is it just me, or does she sound kind of like Cartman from South Park? Seriously, you guys?
You ever play chess?
I played checkers once. Does that count?
He made a move, and you countered, and he liked it. He'll be watching and listening to everything.
What, you mean like now? Shh. He said no police.
You're a cop.
Kevin always was a nasty little tattletale.
So Bleach shows up at the police station with a bomb.
I don't want to die! Get it off me! So let's start yesterday and work back as far as you can.
Want to hear my whole life story?
You want to hear the entire MXPX song, My Life Story? But before he's able to whip out the enhanced CD of The Ever-Passing Moment, they're interrupted by a cop knocking on the window.
A guy just walked into precinct headquarters with a bomb strapped on him.
Aw man, you didn't tell the joke right. It's supposed to be a seminary student, a priest, and a rabbi walk into a police precinct. So they rush over there to see what the problem is.
Okay, here it is right here. Romans 6:23. Wages of sin.
Death! Death! The wages of sin is death! Help me!
Death.
Help me! Fortunately, they're able to figure out that the secret code to get the bomb off of the guy is 623, because he has wages of sin tattooed on his forehead, and that is, of course, from Romans 6:23. Also, Sam shows up inexplicably to the precinct to comfort Kevin.
It's my fault if he dies.
You can't blame yourself for this.
You don't understand.
Interesting.
Hey, you! And you! Out! Now! Go!
So they get the bomb off, and she's taking it. She's got to take it away somewhere. Just throw it into a cab and tell him to drive away as far as he can. Wow, this movie really hates trash cans. What, was it made by Antifa or something? Topical.
The way you pukes look. The way you speak.
I wonder how much of this is like the book and how much of it they changed just so that they could rip off Saw.
The way you smell. You're all rotten to the core.
So I guess RK is done being upset at the cop and figures maybe she learned her lesson and instead is going after this guy and changed his MO to make Bible references and stuff. At this point, Kevin seems to realize who the killer actually is, and we get another flashback as he tells Sam the story.
When we were kids and used to sneak out together, sometimes I'd see this boy. I remember one night I caught him at your window. He was looking at you.
Hey, you!
Hey, you! You're stepping out and everyone falls.
Hey, you! Stop!
He chased me into this old warehouse.
No one's gonna hear you down here, snitch. You're gonna bite off your own tongue.
Whoa, he was lucky that was there. So he tells the story about how he left a guy for dead who was bullying him.
I left him to die. That's my sin.
It's not really all that bad. I mean, it seems like it's clear-cut self-defense, if you ask me.
It's pretty far-fetched to think that after all these years, someone would plan to get even with us for something that happened when we were kids.
She really has a point there. Also, the other thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me is that, like, why would he start with the cop? And then, also, there's those kids that I used to watch when I was a kid. Maybe I'll go after them, too. Seems like he would go after these people first. But when Kevin and Sam get up to his apartment, something's going wrong.
That's my thesis. Sam,
not the thesis! I don't know. I don't know what that joke has to do with. Sometimes I really bastardize my running jokes.
That's him.
I'm calling the cops. Stay away from the window.
But we can't.
You can't. I can.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm a friend of Kevin Parsons.
Right. Insurance. Where's Kevin?
We're at his place. We may have just seen a stalker at his window.
Want you back here now.
Then Kevin notices something on the fridge. Monster energy drinks will stop at nothing. And this turns out to be a bomb! No! Look, we've all seen CSI. Audiences are smart now. Is there not some sort of forensic team that's checking up on these bombs? All right, so pushed to his breaking point, he agrees to confess his sins.
Parsons on TV.
When I was...
Shh, he's confessing.
He chased me into this warehouse. We fought. I ran out and locked him in. I left him to die. I'm a fake and a hypocrite. Just want to say I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, when you put it that way, it sounds like you're a sinner. All you gotta say is, hey, so I was 10 years old, this dude chased me into this building, he told me to bite off my own tongue, and then after that, he would kill me. So yeah, I found a piece of metal and I hit him and I escaped. Most people would understand that it was a pretty impossible situation. Though it would be funny if that wasn't the kid, and the killer was on the phone and he's like, you did what? No, I was doing all this because you once cut me off in traffic. What are you talking about? Holy crap.
He thinks the killer's this kid who used to bully us.
Yeah, I heard.
Yes, we saw the news, but still, we don't understand why the killer would have such a personal connection with you, but not the cop.
Kevin locked him in a storage warehouse. We're talking 15 years back, so it's all pretty hazy. My dad, he chased him away. He died 5 years ago.
Boy, I feel like all the interesting stuff has already happened to these people. Now they're just bland characters, but apparently have really interesting pasts.
Kevin, I can't bet on his forgiveness, and he said the trigger is pulled.
No, it's over. Everybody knows what a terrible person I am.
All right, calm down. Get over yourself already. Jeez, the world doesn't revolve around you, buddy.
When he said, what takes you there, but takes you nowhere, what does that mean to you?
A bus. All they do is go back and forth.
The bus that went by our old neighborhood was number 33.
They think he might hit bus 33.
Oh no! So apparently now he's gonna blow up some random bus. I mean, not some random bus, it's bus 33 because the movie, it's called 3.
Sam, that was the 3rd Avenue bus.
The 3 on your refrigerator.
Is that enough 3s to justify the title of the film? So now the movie really becomes Speed.
Stop the bus! Stop the bus!
Don't let it go under 50 miles an hour!
Pull over, you got something on the bus!
There's a bomb on the bus! It's kind of like that other better movie! Remember?
There's a bomb on the bus! Get off of the bus, come on!
Hey everybody, there's a bomb on the bus! Why don't you trample over each other?
Damn phone!
So somehow Kevin, in all the chaos, is able to hear the phone ringing and thinks that it's pretty important to answer that phone, you know?
Break the rules, I break my word.
I confessed. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
You confessed nothing.
What?
Cover your ears, puke.
Sam!
Sam, no! The bus blows up and things get knocked into 12th gear.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe how fake this fire looks.
How did he get my number?
Oh yeah, so I'm in an explosion that almost kills me, and the first thing I think is, how did the killer get my phone number?
Talk to me.
Sam talked to you and he blew it early.
So I can't help you if I'm playing catch up.
Just don't help me.
He's here. I know he is.
My cop senses are tingling. That's totally a thing.
And meet me in the Grand Hotel bar in 5 minutes.
Oh boy, man, this guy, like the little that we know about him, makes me not want him to be the hero at all. I'm really starting to wish that they would have followed the police author. I really don't understand why they would set up her, like, kind of revenge and not tell the story from her perspective. Though if they did do that, they probably could cast somebody else.
Where's Samantha?
She went to check out her dad's stuff.
Ugh.
Kevin, it's not you.
I know this for certain, even though I probably should consider you as a suspect for multiple reasons.
If RK is this kid from your past, we will find him. You have to trust me.
It's the rules of the archetypes we're playing.
Take a drive with me through your old neighborhood. Stop by your aunt's house. See if that jogs your memory.
I can't do that.
Kevin.
I can't.
No. All right, well, after that pointless meeting, seriously, she is such a bad cop. If all these people on that bus almost got killed just because he talked to the cops, and then she tells him to meet him in that restaurant just so she can ask him to trust her? Ugh. So the police lady goes to Kevin's weird old home.
Don't touch anything.
Oh, you've created your own world in here. Cutting away what you don't like, keeping the rest.
Oh, like people do with the Bible.
Why?
What we do in our home is our business. We're safe here.
Was he safe? Here?
Yeah, Kevin thought he was God's gift, sent to cast light on us poor idiots. It all started when he was sneaking out at night with that girl.
She's the one that put those nasty little thoughts in his head. Instead of you teaching him?
Well, this is interesting, I guess. I mean, it's kind of interesting to learn about somebody's past from these really weird and distinguishable characters. But it does feel more like the type of backstory that would come out of a bad guy, not the hero of your movie.
Just isolate them with the truth. And they shine like stars.
Well, I gotta give it to this lady, she's trying hard.
You let a boy walk out of this house with no idea of the real world he'd be facing.
Ah. Typical homeschool mom. I just can't tell if this is interesting or just weird for weird's sake. Then the police lady goes to that little warehouse Kevin claims he killed that guy in.
I'm at the warehouse.
The cop begins to investigate what exactly happened in this warehouse.
The fight took place.
There was a firefight!
Kid must have crawled out through there.
There's a group of reporters Camped outside Porson's loft.
Oh, I put him in a hotel to keep him out of the spotlight.
You don't bother telling your superior officer about it.
Got a thing for him, don't you?
What? This movie doesn't seem to know why this character is in the movie to begin with. Like, why would she have a thing for him? He's not a love interest. She just wants to know who killed her brother. She has motivation. She's the only character that has motivation. Well, so the killer he hasn't given up on Kevin. He still feels like he hasn't confessed his sins, so he's going after him again.
So it's time to play the riddle game again.
I confessed!
Confess the rest, Kevin.
Based on the clues they're given, Kevin and Sam decide that they need to head over to the storage warehouse where Sam keeps her dad's stuff.
You sure you don't know what else he wants you to confess?
Well, I did leave the seat up once.
Sam, there's no reason for us to go into this building.
Look, just follow the script, okay? I know it doesn't make sense.
If we don't figure this out, other people are gonna die.
Wait, other people? Nobody has died yet. He just killed the dog. I mean, and the cop's brother, but that was a totally different case. But as Kevin gets something out of the car, Sam goes into the building by herself. Chung chung chung.
Sam!
Sam it!
Sam!
Man, Sam is always getting into trouble. She's like the Lois Lane, except he's not Clark Kent, he's Jimmy. So as Samantha searches around the warehouse, she ends up getting herself trapped in another spot. 2 times. Twice. In the same situation. She goes in there, gets herself locked into the building, and now inside of the building, she gets herself locked in another place. I have no sympathy for a character like this. So while Kevin waits outside, the door mysteriously opens. Chun chun chun. And when he gets inside, he discovers... of course, another time bomb. All right, in Speed, the bad guy knew about bombs because he worked for the bomb squad. And he'd seen a lot of bombs, so he would know how to make bombs. Like, I don't know anything about the bad guy. They haven't told us anything other than he makes bombs. He knows a little bit about scripture, and he doesn't like what she wrote in her book. Oh, wait, hold on. Did he plagiarize in his dissertation? Is that what this is? Maybe this bad guy he hates plagiarism, and so he's on a mission to end dishonesty in writing. Well, Sam shoots herself free, and just in time, they escape the building before it explodes again.
These are all lines from your thesis? It's pretty dark stuff.
He didn't find it very original.
Wait, was I right? Is the bad guy in this extremely derivative movie someone who just hates unoriginal writing?
Wait, what's this? He's not done with us yet.
Of course we're not done, because this is like the scavenger hunt from hell. And I'm not talking about, like a scary scavenger hunt. I'm talking about one of those scavenger hunts that you go on with a bunch of people that you don't like, and the list is like way too long, and the things that are hidden, they're not hard to find, they're just spread out way too far, and you have to go back and forth to all these different places. That's the kind of scavenger hunt we're looking at here.
Your house is afire. How many places have you lived?
It's my loft.
In your aunt's place. Midnight. We have 2 hours. I'm gonna take a cab to your loft. You take my car to Belinda's place and call me.
Kevin, what happened? Why didn't you answer your phone?
Look, I'll be honest, I didn't answer the phone because when you call, I can barely hear what you're saying, because you talk like you're whispering all the time.
Because he said no cops?
Do you see this?
Yeah, it's a wallet.
I quit. I'm no longer a cop.
What? That's not how it works. Look, I'm not a cop because my badge, I threw it over there. Now you can trust me.
Princess.
Please, just finish this movie. I'm ready to be done. I thought this was gonna be fun and scary. It's not even a horror movie. This is just like a suspense thriller. You guys lied to me. And look at the cover of this movie. It looks scary, like he's burning in hell or something. Maybe that's just a picture of the people who watch it.
Princess is gone. She's gone.
I gotta get you guys out of here.
Why?
Because the house isn't safe.
I thought the princess went out to get dog food, and then I remembered we burned the dog.
So while Kevin is at his childhood home, Sam is searching his apartment. And that's when she makes an incredible discovery. The writing on this piece of paper matches the other writing. I knew it! I knew this picture was weird. I get it. So It turns out, I think, that the boy who was creeping on Sam as kids, who Kevin believes he hit and left for dead in a warehouse, was Kevin the whole time. He was the creep. Oh my gosh, I've called this from the very beginning. So he did blow up his own car. Or did he? I mean, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I guess, but it's what they're hinting at. Like in the real world, somehow he got the cops to believe that he's the victim of his own crime. There are mastermind criminals out there who can't get away from the cops. What was that movie? Catch Me If You Can. Remember that? Like, he was a genius. This guy, if he's got a split personality or is schizophrenic, then how can he somehow make the police believe that he's the victim of his own crime?
Kevin, the clues tend to be metaphoric opposites, like light and shadow. With Roy and me, RK tended to be more like a tour guide.
Maybe he changes personality with each victim.
Yeah, or he's a completely different person. Jeez, these are horrible cops.
Jennifer,
now that Sam's figured out this raging clue, she calls Jennifer to let her know.
I think the riddle killer is the boy.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I don't even think the boy is the boy.
What?
What?
Opposites.
Bum-ba-dee-bum-boo. Opposite. Opposite.
So what if Kevin and his stalker are opposites in the same person?
Hey, Mike. How many sets of footprints you got?
What I am seeing is one set of distinct tread patterns.
But I was just assuming those were the times the killer was carrying Kevin through hard times in life.
When Kevin locked the boy in the basement 15 years ago, he was actually locking away an alter ego in his own head. Then when Kevin's thesis forced him to fully examine the nature of good and evil,
the boy resurfaced.
Meanwhile, Kevin finds Belinda in the basement of this shed. And who else does he find there?
Hello, Kevin.
That's right. It turns out that this movie might have a double twist.
They think you're crazy as a loon. They think you're me, the riddle killer. Tomorrow in the headlines, it's gonna say, your mommy dearest drove you to kill her.
But wait, that makes even less sense. Let me get this straight. The main bad guy makes the cops believe that he is the one who's doing this all along. But then he's also been planting clues so that at the perfect opportune moment, the police will suddenly come to the conclusion that maybe Kevin actually has a split personality and he's been doing all of this to himself, even though it actually is the bad guy all along. How is that even possible? So Sam arrives at the house to try to stop Kevin, and the bad guy, the good guy, I don't remember.
I hear voices.
You mean Kevin and Belinda?
I'm putting you on mute.
Wait!
What? That's not mute. You shut the phone.
You'll never get away with this. You're sick.
Hasn't this girl learned anything about going through doors by herself?
I told everyone what I did to you.
You confessed nothing! You're the sick one, Kevin. You don't even know.
And when Sam looks under the door, she sees 2 sets of shoes. Oh my gosh!
Jennifer, I was wrong.
I was wrong. It's not that stupid split personality thing that I said that it was all along.
Kevin Stalker's real.
Who is he?
He's
Samantha can't talk now.
Okay. I'm gonna stop the movie there because the movie does actually have a twist ending. There are several twists and shouts in this movie, and I feel a little bad ruining it on a review. If you do wanna go watch the movie, you can go check it out. If some of you were planning on watching the movie this weekend, then you can still go watch it and watch my review because I feel bad. It feels like not the right thing to do because the people who made this movie worked so hard to put it together and make a twist at the end, and that's really all this movie has going for it. So I'm sure you're wondering, what did I think of this movie? Honestly, I just think it's kind of meh. It wasn't scary or thrilling. The characters aren't very likable, which may have been intentional because they wanted to set up for the big twists at the end, but they did so at the expense of developing good characters. I said from the beginning that I wish they kind of focused on the cop story, and having seen the whole movie, I still wish that. This movie is a perfect example of what happens whenever you build an entire movie around one idea. Especially, and not as a rule, but something that I've noticed, whenever that idea is intended to implement faith. I genuinely think that the only reason they didn't tell the story from the cop's perspective is because they had this neat idea that they wanted to tell about Christianity. Unfortunately, the movie really suffers in the story department because of this. As I've reviewed and learned more about Christian movies, I found something that's kind of interesting. There's some of these Christian movies I've seen that they don't fall into the typical Christian movie feel. Movies like Believe Me or Blue Like Jazz, a movie that I should probably talk about one of these days, and this one, they don't fall into the typical Christian movie cliche. They do a great job at rising above, making themselves seem like a real movie. It's not cringy in the way a lot of these Christian movies are, but then once it's in that new category, it doesn't really succeed at being a good movie. It's like if someone was really good at Thr3e baseball. They're so good at it that they get brought up into the major leagues, but then once they're in the major leagues, they just sit on the bench. They're professional baseball players, but they're like third, fourth string. Movies like this get everything right, like in the technical sense. The actors are fine, the shots are fine, everything's fine, but then it's just not a good movie. I mean, when you set this movie up against all the movies that it's trying to copy, it doesn't really hold up. So to conclude, it's a main character that you don't even like. The filmmakers seem to have gotten so caught up in this idea that the movie was gonna be super clever that they forgot to make characters that were actually enjoyable to follow. If the whole time people are watching and they're like, man, this movie sucks. Why does it suck? Why does it suck? Oh, I see at the end, it sucks because they had to get to this idea. And then it's not a good movie. That's all I gotta say. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kevin, holding Christian movies up to the same standard as other films. Good night. Thank you everybody for watching this super scary episode of Movie Night. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to get that limited time t-shirt, then please head over to my Patreon, patreon.com/SayGoodnightKev. Let me tell you about some of the people who I'll be shipping this t-shirt out to. Brendan Neely, Tyler Minnix, the guys over at the Religious Nut and Hellbound Center podcast, Matt Clark, who just recently launched his YouTube channel. Please go check it out. He's a very funny guy because he just has 17 subscribers and he needs more. Pascal Schmidlin, I hope I pronounced that name right, who also has a YouTube channel with only 17 subscribers. What's going on here? The animation on this channel looks so good. There is one video on the channel called Vampire Nazi Strippers from Space. Probably not super safe for kids, but funny nonetheless. That sounds like something that you'd be interested in watching, then go check that out. And also don't forget John Duffy's new series, Next Level Stuff. I'm gonna be doing a collaboration with him. We're actually recording in like 2 days. I'm not sure when I'm releasing it, but it will be coming out eventually. The VeggieTales Jonah movie. We're gonna watch through that and do a review, and it'll be tons of fun. All right, that's about all I gotta say. Everything that I talked about here at the end is linked below, so please check it out. All right, have a great week. Hope you had a safe Halloween, and I will talk to you soon. Good night.
Kevin thought he was God's gift, sent to cast light on us poor idiots.